you've already alluded a little bit earlier to maybe part of the answer to the question I'm about to ask, and that is, I know you're very active in music right now, but are there other forms of creativity in your life besides music? Or obviously now you've mentioned, what, anthropology and linguistics.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of other interests in your life.
Yeah, I work for a research organization as a part-time job. I work as a researcher, and we do documentation of endangered languages. And so I'm responsible for like project coordination and audio archives, and just meeting a lot of people from all over Latin America. And so I get exposed to a lot of their music and their projects and their languages and how they're trying to conserve, like using digital tools. And creating digital archives with them for all their, cultural materials and oral history and all that stuff. So it's fairly creative. Like it's more of an archiving, data analysis kind of work, but it can be pretty creative because you have to find creative ways to like take this ancient knowledge that they have and put it into like these modern digital archives and stuff. And then for relaxation, I make collages at home. Out of just like magazines. Magazines.
Okay.
Just like magazine cutouts and stuff is like my new hobby. Yeah.
Are there themes to them? Because some people will call these like dream boards or vision boards or something. Are you familiar with that?
We can like cut some into the slideshow.
Familiar with the vision board kind of thing? Yes,
vision board kind of stuff. Where you just kind of like imagine something like your dream house or something.
Exactly. But that's not what you do per se?
No, it's like I cut out like different shape. I've been doing like women's themes lately, and I had a cosmic series too. I should have brought them. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. You had no idea what we were going to get into today, so
right. It's true. I've been doing just themes of like women's rights and reproductive health and stuff. So I've been like cutting out all these different pictures of like women and like body parts and stuff, and like notions of like things that represent time and space and reproduction, like, eggs and fertility and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Do you take this stuff with you, or is this just for your own personal, would you take it to a show and have it for people to look at a show? Or
yeah, actually I should make some prints of some of, I've only made of the cosmic collages so far. I've made prints of those, so I have those for sale at shows. Okay. But yeah, the other ones too, I think I should start selling them. I haven't put them online yet, but they're around.
we have ideas about the word should.
Should, could, would, maybe one day.
I
but
will,
there's like
perhaps.
A big pile of stuff that, there's a growing list of things to be done.
So, as a lyric writer, do you ever find yourself writing any prose or journaling, or do you do any of that kind of stuff? Is all that just focused in music?
Occasionally, yeah. I have like various journals that are incomplete, like all over the place.
Well, I can relate to that.
And I'm writing a book right now, but it'll probably take me a few years before I finish it. It's just a book of travel stories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you sound like you've had some
interesting
travels.
I've been compiling stories from my travels to India and Peru and Chile and Paraguay and places like that where I've traveled and worked. And so I want to make a collage for each story to like illustrate it, That's the plan.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been talking about Burning Man a lot, so I think...
Because he wants to go to Burning Man.
Get this guy to Burning Man. I want to go to Burning Man.
Melody, he wants to go to Burning Man.
I'm very intrigued with this thing.
2013,
Actually,
he's going.
Melody is the one that kind of turned me on to this whole thing to start with, and she's probably sorry she did at this point. But it just seems like a very intriguing place, and when I discovered that you had been there not once, but now
3 times.
3 times. It made me really want to find out more.
Yes, well, maybe we should all go together.
I know, that would be awesome. And I know we can't talk about it all here, but can you give me some kind of a feel for what it's like there?
Well, it's in the Black Rock Desert, so you have no vegetation basically. Yes. You have like this. You're setting up. They call it's sort of like a blank slate.
Yes.
It's the whole festival takes place on this big arid like expanse, and it's made of this kind of alkaline dust that's like really compact. So it's really white. So
Mm-hmm.
that gives the dust that you see in some of the pictures. People are kind of covered in this like fine white dust. They're like always dirty all the time because you're covered in this big like expanse of dust, basically.
The biggest sandbox you can imagine.
Yeah. It's like if it's in some places it can be very sandy. In other places it's really just like hard as rock. And there's storms and around that can happen, dust storms. It has this kind of apocalyptic environment. It kind of looks like Mars, actually. What you might imagine Mars to look like. Well, Mars is more red. This is more. It looks more white. But the reason why people started holding this festival there is because they wanted to do an event in a place that's post-apocalyptic, pretty much. I think that's what I thought. That's what I think that they had in mind is, there's no running water, there's no electricity, so you got to do everything from scratch and got to bring all your own food, and then it's a big arts festival, so people are out there, they have all the space they need pretty much to set up any kind of installation art or sculpture.
And it's really edgy, right? I mean, these people are doing just about anything you can imagine.
Pretty much, it's like anything
artistically
goes.
Yeah.
There are rules,
right?
And you can't bring like firearms anymore. Like they used to be able to like have shooting
go
ranges
figure.
and stuff. But there's no more shooting that takes place there. But yeah, in the past they used to have like shooting ranges and just like running around in these cars and like shooting things up, but not anymore. But they still like blow up couches and stuff like that.
And they burn things. That's
yes, they
why
burn
it's called
a lot
Burning Man.
of things. There is a lot of burning.
Did you go as an artist or as a spectator or both? I mean,
most participants are like kind of fluidly going from artist to spectator. Like anyone can get involved. You can show up with no plans and get involved with someone else's art project. So like the first time I went, I was like kind of like a helper on this one camp that was they built a small stage and they were having classical music performances there and jazz, a couple of jazz performances and a marching band, like all gathered around this one camp.
Okay.
And I can't even remember what it was called anymore. But the marching band was called the Burning Band.
Right.
And so I was, just from camping there, I got to be in the Burning Band. And so we were just like marching around with this like claptrap marching band. It was very, like that. And that's actually how I met my husband, was like when I was marching around with the Burning Band, and we like stopped and we were doing this.
And there he was.
And there he was. And I was like, oh.
Wow, that's a cool story, actually.
That's how we met.
What a fantastic place to meet.
Yeah, it was good.
Now, do you plan to go back every year, or are you done for a while?
We're taking a break. We took a break the last 2 years because it's a very time-consuming endeavor, and it's very expensive too.
Right. Like
all the supplies that you need to bring. It
Plus,
can
getting
be,
there is not cheap
so
either.
it's not cheap. It is fairly affordable if you save up for it, but if you have a lot of other stuff going on. He's been 4 times too, so he's like, we're taking a break, and we hope to go back next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Thank you for sharing that.
You should come.
Believe me, it's on my list of things to do. I fully intend to be there for at least one of them somewhere along the road. So, we talked about Burning Man. Let's come back to here and now. Are you recording presently?
Yeah, I finished recording a CD last year, and it's going to come out on Vision Quest Records next March, actually.
Excellent.
Yes.
Next March.
So it's a studio album, Banana Lazuli, the Cosmic Love Collage is the title.
And this is all your stuff?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be coming out in a few months. And yeah, I'm really excited for it. And in the meantime, I'm recording other stuff, other projects and songs and everything.
We talked about pop music earlier, and you have your foot very much in the pop world. You do kind of a lot of dance pop type of tracks.
Yeah, I also record vocals for electronic dance music. Yeah, like kind of music you hear in clubs and stuff, like lyrics, that you hear.
How does one get into that? I mean, I have a hard time seeing how these roads all lead to each other. How did you get there?
It's true. It is hard. It's very intangible, I guess. But I have a friend who's a DJ, who's a good friend of mine. I think I met him when I was in college, and then we worked together for a humanitarian organization for 2 years in Montreal. and his name's Ned Shepard, and he's a DJ, and now he lives in LA actually, but we collaborated on a bunch of recordings in Montreal, and he's straight up progressive house DJ. So yeah, so through him, so I got different gigs using my voice for the kind of club music, which is very different format.
Now, at the showcase, you did some acoustic piano stuff, and I'm sure that was because it was there and you didn't quite know what to expect when you got there, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Do you do that type of music still in your shows? Do you just get on the piano and do some pieces that way?
Yeah. I have some pieces that I think sound best just piano and vocals, so I just try to keep it real simple.
Right.
But yeah, like that's my primary way of getting ideas for songs is just sitting down at the piano and just working on them.
Because I have seen this used several times along with the piano, but I wasn't sure which one maybe took precedent over another.
Yeah, piano for sure. Piano is definitely the basis for it. Yeah.
What would you say your long-term goals are? March is out there a little bit, but do you have deeper, farther out aspirations for music, or are you?
Yeah, I definitely do. Next summer, I'd like to go on tour and like promote my album as much as possible. I think I'm gonna be opening for Crystal Bright and the Silver Hands, so that's very exciting.
Excellent. Doing some shows with them.
Yeah, doing some. Yeah, going on tour with them next summer, and also I'd love to play in Europe. I've never played in Europe, so that's a goal that I have. Okay, yeah. So the label that I'm on is called Vision Quest Records, and they're based in Germany and the UK. So I'm hoping through them I could get some opportunities to play in Europe to try to promote the album. So that's like one of the goals I have for next year. Yeah.
So are they going to act as a management company for you, or are you going to do this on your own?
No, I'm going to do it on my own, but like with them helping me get some contacts and stuff.
Right.
I've been doing my own management for now, which it's hard, but it's doable for now. Then hopefully when I have money rolling in, then I can hire someone.
There you go. Yeah,
one day. That's all in process.
When you do, because you will. Here locally, do you have any upcoming shows that anybody might be interested in knowing about?
Yeah, let's see. I don't know if this video will be up by then, but yeah, November 10th, I'll be playing at a house party here in Greensboro. I'm going to open for a really nice fellow named Jason Anderson, who's a acoustic guitarist and singer with very powerful songs.
Right.
So I'll be opening for him November 10th. And then December 15th, I'll be playing at the Flatiron at the Songwriters Night.
Oh, with Matty Sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get the November 10th one up, folks, but we'll try.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. December 15th, Flatiron, everybody.
What about, do you have a website or Facebook or any of those kind of things you want people to know about?
Yeah, you can look me up online. BananaLazuli.com is my website. And I've got a link to my Facebook on there, and I try to put, a few different links every week, trying to update people with new recordings and photos and events and stuff like that. And I got some demos, some recordings on BananaLazuli.com, so check it out.
Okay, I'm sorry. This isn't on the sheet, and we're almost running out of time, but I have to ask, how did you get to Banana? Was it just a whim, or was there Banana Lazuli?
Oh, Banana Lazuli is a play on words of my real name, which is Ana Luisa.
Okay.
So I just kind of like change the syllables around. And my friends call me Anna Banana a lot, so I just kind of change the syllables and put banana instead of Anna.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just had to know.
Yeah.
All right. And the last thing, this is nothing really to do with music at all. Well, it might, depending on your answer. You read this question, I think, when I sent it to you on the email. We'll see which one you choose. If you could spend a day with anyone on the planet who's living now, who would it be? Or if you could go back in time and spend a day with somebody who is not with us anymore, who would it be? Would you like to choose one or the other, or do you have...
When you sent me that question, the first person I thought of was Hildegard von Bingen. I don't know if you've ever heard of her.
Oh, I know her.
Do you know who she is?
Everybody's looking at each other a little puzzled. Tell us who she is.
She was like a mystic nun who lived...
Excuse me, say that again. A mystic nun. Okay.
Yes, and she wrote a lot of choral music, and she also wrote like some of the first books on like plant sciences and everything. And she's a really interesting person.
She was obviously way ahead of her time.
She was for the medieval times. Yeah. I would love to meet her.
Wow.
She was very avant-garde for her time. I think there's a movie that's coming out about her.
I'm going to have to go look that up online now. Absolutely.
She's amazing. And her compositions, I mean, I think she even invented musical notation to write down her choral arrangements and everything.
Wow,
with
fantastic.
the nuns that she worked with in her convent. Yeah, she's a pioneer.
See,
I'd love to meet her.
You've enlightened us all today, and,
Okay.
and we all thank you for that. I thank you for your time today. It's
Thank
been
you.
a pleasure getting to know more about you.
Thanks,
I wish
Kris.
you a lot of success, and keep looking for a banana when you're out there looking for live entertainment. Support local music, and we'll be back again very soon.
Thank you, Kris. Thank you.
Absolutely.